Hello. How are you? I'm trying to get my video to work. There we go. There we go.
Hi, thank you
How's it
so much
going?
for doing this.
Oh,
I
my
l-
pleasure.
Whenever you guys do these, they are so helpful. So
Oh,
thank you.
you are so welcome. Well, it's always nice to see, like obviously the Visera team is doing their call every Wednesday.
Yes,
I'm
yes, I
assuming
love
you're on those
those
too.
two. Yes,
Okay.
definitely. I do
And
them all.
well, good. Okay, so that must mean you're using it. So tell me
Yes.
how it's going. Like, are you
Okay.
using it at like one-on-one or how are you
Yeah.
using it?
No, so I've been using it at health fairs.
Nice.
So I put in the group, I did it like 3 weeks ago, did 22 scans, but then people were not like, they'd ghost me, they wouldn't get on their consult. So I'm doing one this weekend. I'm gonna pivot and maybe not scan till they sign up for the consult. How do you guys do it? What do you
That's a good
do?
idea. Yeah, I need to get I have a leader, her name's Osti, and I think she
Yes.
has had even better success than we have with we are it's you're right. Like you run into this snag, right? Where people don't want to
Yeah.
commit. Like we
Yeah.
tested different ways, right? We would like scan and then sometimes we just go over it with them and then try to enroll them right there.
Yeah.
That honestly worked the best at a particular event that we were at, which was
Okay.
a softball tournament.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
people were
Yeah.
kind of stuck there between games, like they had a lot
Yes.
more extra time.
Okay.
Um, and so and so part of me is like, for us, I don't know that it's like we noticed that the type of booth we're doing is what makes
Yes.
a difference as far
True.
as people's amount of time they'll hang with us and like listen and get the info,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
like when we're doing a marathon, people literally, a lot of times they don't have time, they won't stay, they just
Yeah.
and so that is yeah, we're still so Asti, what I was gonna say about her is she literally like her signs actually say come schedule your free scan.
Comes cat. Okay, that's
So
what I
it's
just
like,
did.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I need to I should go back and watch her like she did a part of our did you ever get the recording about booths? Did you get to see that
Yes.
recording? Okay.
Yes. Maybe I
She's one
should
of the
watch
people
it
in that.
again.
She's got brown hair and her
Yeah.
pictures even show that. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's really smart because it's like so clear to the customer like
Yes.
you're scheduling this scan, right?"
Yes.
Now, I can't remember in her case if I think she was still doing them there, but she wasn't, I don't remember that part. Like if she was doing them there or if she
Okay.
was scheduling it, then doing the scan. But I feel like she wasn't sending the scan to the client until like right before their appointment. So there was
Yes.
like still a
That's
value for them to get on the
yes.
phone. So
Yes.
I kind of think you're right. Like I do think that's actually a pretty big piece that we haven't even tried yet. Hey Lori, how's it
Yes.
going? Um, you're muted. We can't hear you, but I can see you moving your face, so I know you're talking to me. Whenever, yeah, I know. I'm like, here we go. Ask to unmute. Did that help?
Okay.
There it is. I
I didn't
know.
even know my
Sometimes
camera
when
is
we're trying
on.
to do Zoom on the phone, it's like never looks exactly the way that we're used. Yeah.
It's true.
Uh-huh. We were just
Yes.
talking, Lori, about how Jen has
I
been
know.
using the Visera at some health fairs, and she's like, "Dang it, man! People keep like ghosting me on the consult."
Yes.
And so we were kind of brainstorming, and this is one of the
Yeah.
reasons I like this call versus the Visera one that they do from corporate side
Yeah.
because we don't get a chance to brainstorm, right?
Yeah.
On that call.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, Jen hit on something really important, which is like they don't have the reason they're ghosting us is because they've already, a lot of times I am literally sending them the
Yes.
scan right at the booth. So they've already
Yes.
got it. Like there's no carrot. They don't, you
Yeah.
know, and I mentioned to Jen that there's a gal, Osti Atkinson. I think she's waiting until like an hour before the consult to send the scan to the client. And
Yeah.
so now they have to kind of more get on. Does that make sense? Like it, I
Yeah.
think that is something, and I haven't even done that yet, but am reminding myself now talking to you about it. I'm like, oh, that's the piece, right? Because no wonder
Yes.
they're ghosting us, right?
Yep.
Sometimes we do get them to, actually still have it work. Like I think it sounds like Jen, you've had the same thing, like some of the people are
Yeah.
doing it, but
Yeah.
um,
It has been.
okay.
But
So are
yeah.
you saying that you should
Good.
send them the send them the link and have them do it themselves or do it at the booth?
So still do the scan at the booth just so there's no tech issues with that part,
Okay.
but don't show it to them really or send it to them, which are
Yeah.
two things that I don't do well. Like I'm already, an offender in this way because I like to like it's definitely one of the reasons people will sit down and talk to you, right? Is
Yeah.
Yes.
the scan. And so but I want to try a show this way and see if I can get it to work because part of me is like, well, they would have a big carrot to, um,
Yes.
So you don't
I'll
show it or
tell.
send it until right away. You
Yeah.
show it and send it when you set an appointment with them?
well, that's kind of
Yeah.
what Osti does, and she does have a really high number of people that get on her calls with her after. So, and that's
That's
kind of
what
what
I'm
we're saying
doing.
is the hard part.
Yeah, because like I
Um,
did 22 scans, Lori, and like what I got
I saw your
maybe,
post.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
like maybe
that's
five,
discouraging.
10
Yeah.
people got on the call. People were ghosting me. So I'm doing another one this weekend. So I'm going to change signage and change it. I think, like you said, Roxanne, maybe like have them book it, scan them, but don't give them the report and say, we're going to go over it Tuesday at 4 o'clock, blah, blah, blah. Maybe try
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, well, and part of me is like also I think showing them the value, like maybe the sign, whatever signage you're using at that event,
Yeah.
I want to test this too because I didn't have any signs that actually
Yeah.
said the value of the scan.
Yes.
And that's what is going to make them stop maybe is like, value $75 or value
Yes.
$50 and free scan today. Um,
Yes.
and then, and then of course you can be like we get to review this when we get on the phone, and I will send it to you
Yeah.
an hour before we get on so that you
Yes.
have it, or whatever. But I want to try that too because and I actually don't love the word consult. I don't know why. What can we
Yeah.
come up that's more fun, you
Mm.
guys? That's like um maybe
That's a
it's like
good
an
Mm.
idea.
unveiling. Like we're gonna have your scan unveiling.
A review.
Unveiling.
I don't know, like yeah, like something like that sounds because for example, like
Yeah.
today I did enroll someone at the last show I did, which that show felt like a total fail, but we did have one
Oh,
enrollment and
did get one.
yeah, like, and we're doing her box opening today. And I do believe that if I call it a wellness consult, it's just like it doesn't have the same
Yeah.
energy, right? But when I was like, hey, we're going to open your box, we're going to have a box opening, she was totally okay, great,
Yeah,
and
because it's fun. You're right. It
yeah,
does
like
sound
I
more
just feel like
fun.
I'm like, we got to come up with something that's more fun
What a,
because the scan is really cool.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
that it's if you wanted to sound more professional, it would say that you review the scan.
Yeah, I
Review
mean,
it.
Yeah.
obviously we could try different
Yeah.
things and see what works. Your
Yeah.
scan, um, I keep thinking I should
I
ask
need to
Chat.
put a
Chat
chat
GPT would come up with
GPT.
something cool, right?
I just saying
Yeah.
chat
When my
GPT, but
brain doesn't work, I ask Chat GPT.
I'm gonna
Um,
put you
well, I
guys.
love that you mentioned this issue because I do think it's like you go and you do all that work and then you really do want it to have
Yes.
Well,
results.
so
Oh,
maybe if you could say instead of even review your scan, review your report.
yeah,
If
true. I'm gonna send you guys a picture of the two. These are the little flyers. Like, I'm not doing fancy banners, like, I don't have
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
made little PDFs, so I put
Yeah, yeah.
those right in there. See if you
Oh, that's
think that.
awesome. I
And at
love
the
those.
bottom, I just put like the values, normally $50, but today, if Rebecca's health fair, you get it free.
Ooh, I do like the way you say that. That sounds really good. I love that.
Okay. Okay. But you're
Yeah.
right, maybe consult appointments. Maybe I can think of something more
Let's see.
fun.
Okay, let's review this because you're right. Like we can help each other make it a little bit. Okay, so basically this is a flyer that's sitting on your table.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so when people are is and remind me at this health fair, people are just walking by
Yeah.
and you don't and you're using your phone, are you using an iPad?
Yeah.
How are you scanning people?
My phone. And
Got
then
it.
I
Got
put
it.
up like a ring
Nice.
light
The ring
and
light. Okay, I
they
saw your
like
picture.
pass.
I
Yeah.
remember your picture of the table. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
my it's a very basic table,
No,
but
I
it
love it. I love it.
yeah.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, I like to think about your clients, right? The clients at a health fair, they're already in more of a health
Yes.
zone because they're there
Yes.
because it's a health fair, right?
Yes.
Um, Part of me is like maybe wording that says something to the effect of like find out what your body is actually asking you for or
Oh,
something like that
yes. Oh,
because
yes.
in a health zone there's so many supplements, there's so many
You're
and you're
right.
like at these shows and it's like overwhelm, right? But
Yes.
in this case, I feel like it's a really cool peek into a custom, like this is
Yes.
what their body is asking them specifically for,
I love that. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that. Um, yeah, give me work on that. I love that. Thank you.
Well, it is funny because sometimes with marketing, I'm always like, dang, I get so wordy or I think that people need to hear everything. And really, it's like whatever words are going to speak to that person and then as short as possible and as big as possible, right? So
Yes, yes,
you could totally, remove a lot of that stuff if you wanted
yes.
to.
Okay.
Um, and but I love the whole like now are people using Calendly links to book appointments with you or
I haven't, but I was thinking because I've got Calendly, so I think I will try to figure that out. Yes. And
okay.
see if I can put like a little
I
QR
know I
code,
had a
right?
clipboard at one of my shows and like nobody used it. And then
Yes.
did a Calendly link once where we had the scan, and that seemed to be easier. But it was
Okay.
so crazy how people literally, as soon as like they they really hesitated. They were just like to like actually put it in their schedule. But I think that was because we had already done the scan and then we were
Yes.
like, okay, let's schedule time. It wasn't clear. Like this is clear.
Yes.
If you can be super clear, like,
Yes.
you scan today, but you unwrap your results later or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Um,
idea.
I don't know, some
True.
wording that's like,
I
you gotta
think you're right.
wait. You've
I
got to
was going to
wait to
say,
see
can
your
you guys hear
results
me? I
until
think I
they're.
haven't been able to be heard. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Now
now we
I hear
can.
you.
Sorry, we can hear you now.
Okay, so what if you say something like discover what your body needs
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yes, discover. I love that. I'm gonna commit that to
instead of
my
find out what your body is asking for? It's a little bit more concise to say discover what your body needs.
discover what your body needs. I love that. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
I mean, basically this concept that like the scan is a very personalized look at your and I do tell people like this is going to give us, what a direction to start and it's going to recommend products. Like I do make sure people understand that so that it's not like they
yeah.
get on the consult and they're totally shocked like why are you talking about,
Oh,
products I need,
that's a
right?
good that's a good
So,
point.
I mean, I don't have that on any of my signage, but I do usually say like something to the effect of it's going to point out where some of the we want to improve and it's going to give you products that will help with that improvement, so that they're
Yeah,
because it sucks to get on a bait and switch situation, right? Where you feel like you're on a
that's
call and
true
you're like,
too.
"What?"
Yeah.
That's
So,
very true. I don't think I said that. I don't think I said that. So that's really important.
Carla is just jumping on. Poor thing. I forgot that I made this as a certain Zoom link instead of the one I usually use because I changed the time and everything. So poor Carla has been waiting for me in the other part of my Zoom, but here she is. Carla
Okay.
actually uses the Visera a ton for her own. Like I'm going to use the word diagnostic because we're just here together. Um, but like helping her to dial in her own personal health. a
Oh,
lot,
that's me.
and she uses she uses ChatGPT to help her too. So she's had a lot of cool things happen with the scan. Are any of the rest of you guys using it a lot that way for your own, oil usage and supplement usage?
I
No.
I just got it. So I mean, I got it right after convention and it was all screwed up. So
Mhm.
I think it's back to being good again, but so far I've only done me and my husband and a friend, and theirs were not good. But I have a whole lot of events coming up in January, February, March, and so I'm trying to prepare for all these and be smart about it.
Nice. Nice. Okay, well, and I will say, when you said their scans did not look good, pretty much consistently, that's how this scan is. And so, like a
Mhm.
lot of people, if they're used to using the balance, which is the hand cradle one, right? They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I hate the Visera because it like makes so many more out of range, than the other." Um, I personally am like, I don't really care as far as hate or love that way. To me, it's like either one is going to give me a direction, but I love the portability of the Visera, and
Yeah.
and I totally also tell people like the cool thing about this, we're doing this scan today, and um, I can absolutely text you a link to later do a scan again, right? Maintaining that relationship with a
Yeah,
cold contact.
that's
That's
Mhm.
pretty tough when you're doing the hand cradle. That's like super, so unless you're all
Yeah.
living in the same area, no one's traveling for this.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so
So
true.
yes, Carla, any late, like these guys haven't heard anything about, can you kind of like maybe give like a little concise whatever experience how it's helped you as far as you guys, have you ever tried to use ChatGPT to help you with what the Visera's like? It's massive what Carla does with that. So cool.
No. Mm.
Well, basically, I kind of like followed Catherine's lead. After I scan myself, I take screenshots and of the results and put it in ChatGPT and ask it to give me protocol. But then I will also tell it, if there's something particular that I'm dealing with at the time that I want it to say, here's the results, but here's also what I want to focus on. So kind of bringing those together. And And so, like, for example, one time when I was going to the gym, and I think because of weightlifting, I was having some low back pain. And so it gave me this really nice blend that I still use now every day before I go to the gym, that it helps to, like, with circulation and warm up the body. So it has things like cypress and black pepper and ginger and a couple other oils, frankincense. But so it just gives, and then I use, like, because that's kind of like a cool recipe that anyone could use before they go to the gym. I post that kind of stuff in my education group, little recipes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been really interesting on what it comes up with. And so, like Roxanne said, I don't pay attention to, like, how many are out of range. I don't even, like, factor that in. I just want to know what oils are good for me and what can I do with them as far as how to incorporate them. And what I like also about using chat is because it just gives you some direction on what to do with these results, as opposed to just, here's your top 10 or in top 10 in all these different categories.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Carla, can you give them an example of like when you're typing? So first of all, I think Carla typically does screenshots, and I know Jen said she's gotten on some of our training calls, so she already knows some of this. I don't know about you, Lori, but Carla definitely puts in screenshots of her scan, right? The results. Are you doing just your main like systems, or what are you picking there when you do your
I do
screenshots?
the top 10 overall, which is like 2 screenshots. And then I do the what do I do? And then I do like the top 5 for each of the 10 categories. That's typically what I do, but and then, like, I don't do, like, I think Catherine does, like, if you scroll through and see, like, all those different things below the top 5. I don't, so it sees, so I do put it in order, so it sees the top ones that are out of range, the few that are at the top under the top 5. You know what I mean? So but because even with that, it's, I don't know, it's like 12 14,
A lot
13
of oils,
screenshots.
right?
So,
Right.
and then sometimes if I'm really just wanting to focus on something particular, I will ask chat. So this is what I want to focus on. Which of these 10 categories do you want me to send you? And so sometimes I will just narrow it down like that, or sometimes I send it all and just kind of want overall.
I love it. You know, you guys, the cool thing about to me about this piece is if you wanted to, you don't have to. Like I haven't done it so far as my my meetups with people after the events, but you could really kind of market this as, you know what? So part of you, you know, connecting with me on Zoom is we're going to actually, um, you know, not only are you going to get to unveil your scan results, but once we go over things, then I'm going to actually plug in after getting, you know, to know you a bit better and kind of like tweaking a few things. So then you get another appointment, right? I'm going to actually help create for you after learning a bit about your life, right? A customized way for you to use these items so that you're not feeling like, well, you told me about that I needed them, but like I don't even know how to incorporate them in my life, right? Because Carla can say to chat, like, you know, okay, this person is a truck driver and they can only do this, this, and this. And that's you got to basically take what I sent you in these screenshots, make them a simple routine that can work for their lifestyle, right? Now it's like you didn't have to do any of that. It makes it, and then you can offer that to the client who feels like, wow, you just totally took care of me, right? I haven't tried
Roxanne,
it that way. Have
um,
you tried that?
Rox
Yeah.
was Michelle let me be like she let me use her as a test on use doing this for a customer, and so it so no normally chat knows that I'm working with myself, but knowing I was working with a customer, it created a whole checklist for her based on the recommendations, like a daily protocol, and then turned it into a checklist. So she has like actual the boxes to check off, and so yeah, so it can create, and then it even like it knows my brand, so it like brands the attach the PDF, you know, and stuff like that. So it definitely is really cool in how it can give you a
So did the
professional
client like
document.
that? Like, how did it go with the customer? What did how did they feel? Like, have you
So
already sent
it
it
was
to them?
Michelle, and so
Okay, so
she,
Michelle was the person. Okay, she pretended to
yes,
be the client. Okay, got it.
yes, and
Michelle
but
is a
she
leader
loved
in
it
car.
because it
Yeah,
was
so
for, she definitely had stuff she wanted to work on, and she loved it, and so she,
yeah, you guys, it's like Carla is paying $20 a month for her chat GPT account, right? 20, 25. What is it?
$20,
20.
20.
So she has, you know, some special, a little bit more specialized, you know, approach with it. But
Me
with the
too.
free one, you can do the same thing. You can
Yeah,
similar.
I have the paid account too.
Okay,
So,
sweet.
so do you, Carla, do you ever just limit the things, the recommendations to foundational wellness?
Just like those top 3 foundational wellness products.
Yeah.
You know, I
Okay.
always
So
include
do
more.
you include the foundational wellness products or not? Do you just
I
do oil?
have, like, I'm sure in Michelle's it did include it, but yeah, that was there.
That's a
Okay.
good question, Lori. I actually, so when we do our booths, that's typically what we do is the 90-day reset items. We don't just do foundational wellness, but we do the 90-day reset
Yeah,
because
the
our
90.
goal is to kind of basically have that conversation, you know, with them when we get on the phone after. And so, and I will say, like I have one, so I have one gal from a show that once we decided to tweak it like this and kind of focus on the 90-day. Wait, I did have one person meet up and which I was like, that was amazing that she and I actually got on the phone. And in her case, she was a marathon, like she's from a marathon that we'd done. Okay. So you already have someone who kind of basically sees themselves as a healthy individual, right?
Right.
And so it kind of made me start going. She didn't end up purchasing, she didn't pull the trigger because for her, no matter how simple I made it, she's like, I always forget to take supplements. Even if you give me a checklist, I'm terrible at it. So this is not going to work. And I was like, okay, no problem. You know, we did get on the phone and we did make, you know, a connection. So that was good. But I'm bringing this up because I'm like, okay, this is a real thing, right? Like the 90-day is a big swallow. It's a lot to understand in a short time. And even though we do it like that, I'm like, okay, I don't know that I'd want to go down to just foundational wellness because then I feel like it's like,
Limiting.
yeah, but they don't really know they've never seen it before. I mean, like, it's going to be rare that you've got somebody that's actually been like, oh, I've had the scan done before, right? It's still so new.
Right.
So you totally could. There's no reason you couldn't. Or you could do like foundational wellness plus the top oils that they're gonna get for free if they get on rewards. That's
Yeah.
another thought,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, it's hard because I do love targeted solutions so much. So like I have the hardest
Me
time
too.
like when the 90 day and I don't have any of my targeted solutions in there. That's my only bummer about the 90 days. I'm like, dang, there's no serenity in there. There's no adaptive. So I have gone back and forth on that one because you're right. Like it's very confusing when you start going over the scan and there's like so many things on it and you just don't even have time to go over all of it, right? And as soon as they get super confused, they're just not going to buy anyway, right?
Right. Yeah.
So this is something we could, continue to brainstorm together and figure out like, Jen, when you're doing it, what groups are you picking? Are you just doing all doTERRA, like all the supplements, all the oils, all the blends?
Yeah, so I do top 10 oils. I
Nice.
do foundations and then like adaptive,
Okay,
trendy,
so you're
on
adding in
guard.
some of the targeted stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've even had people tell me, they just pull in and create a group of what they want to sell at their booth that day, right? If they want to sell stuff in person. Um, Lori, what kind of shows are you doing in January? Are they
They're well, first one is a women's event. It's
mm,
featuring it's for women.
okay.
So,
All
and I'm
right, sweet.
also a speaker at this event. So I have a booth and I'm a speaker.
Nice. Okay,
I'll
that
have
must have
an
cost a pretty
opportunity
penny.
to drive people to my table at so when I do this little presentation, but the presentation will probably be on oils. This I'm
Okay.
still struggling to
What to decide what to talk about?
yeah, I did it last year and
Oh, nice.
so yeah, you just have to do it super fast, super quick. I have to
Hmm.
create all my own paperwork for the doTERRA doesn't have the right kind of paperwork. So handing out to
Sure.
people to fill it out, chose this kit or this kit.
And
Just those two.
and last year did that work?
Yeah, it did. I did that at a nurses event. So and I did another event last March, and it was for school nurses. So it is a really targeted audience,
Yeah.
and it was a part of their training
Continuing education kind of thing.
education. My event was full, so I couldn't even add any more. But I enrolled a lot of people from that, and but I had such a short period of time. I think it was 30 minutes. So you really have to crack on down.
Really just make it super tight. So
Yes,
on with those nurses, they were literally spending their own money to buy stuff that they can use as a nurse at the school.
correct. Yep, yep. And most of them
My
were
mind
so
is blown
as
right
a
now.
teacher, that's my comfort zone because I was able to tell them as a teacher what I was diffusing and what results I saw.
Okay, I didn't realize that's your background. So you were a
Yep,
teacher. Okay. I
yep.
love it. I love
They're
it. Yeah,
But,
so
really
they like trusted you because of that.
yep.
but Lori, how did you get in there? Like so
Yeah,
much
it was
medical
because of another
system.
booth that I did earlier that year. That was a total bummer.
Oh,
But this lady was
but you
going
got
around
this.
talking to people at the different booths, and she talked to me, and then she sent me the invitation. So that was a win. But
Shoot. You know what? I love your example there of like, you know, it doesn't always look like we're expecting, right? And you had that lead come out of that bummer event, right?
yeah,
So you just never know, right?
you don't never.
Um, huh. Okay, so I love what you're saying here, which is so the ones in January are going to be is it going to be more nurses again?
No, the ones in January, it's called the Diva event. And so
Oh,
it's
that's the women's one.
the whole women's one. Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Diva event. Okay. So, huh. Of course, in my brain, I'm like, dang, how do you pick out just what's for women in our lineup, right? But
I
you could.
know.
You could do like, do you know age range?
Oh, it's going to be Well, all. There's no age range. There's no age cutoffs or anything.
Hmm.
So
Okay,
last year,
and that's
the
the
people
first
that
time you've
came,
done this Diva event, right? First time?
last year was the first year I did it, and I'd say age range was the people that came to my class were probably um, late 40s, early 50s.
So it'd be fun to teach about perimenopause at that, like,
Yeah.
and how the oils can help with that, um, in a way that other things can't, you know. I At least
The
as I'm thinking about how you're, because I'm assuming there's going to be other health stuff at this event.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, do you
So
remember,
there's a lot.
was it half health stuff, or was it like tons of different vendors and
Real
not
self
very
care,
much health?
a lot of
Okay.
care.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Um,
a nurses event, it wasn't that way, and there were not that many vendors. And my topic was caring for the caregivers.
I love it. I love it.
So it was
Okay,
really
well,
about
I mean, I'm
care.
trying to come up with a good product group for you for that women's event, right? And my brain is like, you can't do just perimenopause stuff because, like, if they don't have foundational wellness and they don't, I don't know. I'd be halfway tempted to do 90-day reset product group, right? And maybe you could teach oils in your little class, but you could also talk reset, like, because it's January, people are already like they feel like they need to cleanse
Yeah,
anyway, you know? And the word reset is like super mellow. It's not like cleansy, you know?
it's not scary.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's a thought. You obviously know, you've been to the show before. You probably already know where, and doTERRA shines as far as the oils, right? Anytime we get in other areas, sometimes it's like now we've got
Yeah,
red ocean going on instead of blue ocean,
yeah.
right?
It is. It's so much easier to get people that want to know more about them.
Yeah,
Even
I
now.
do. I really love actually making sure that I'm using the blends in my product groups and not the singles because they can't get our blends from another company. Like if
True,
I have the single oils in there, they can go try to find those somewhere else, right? Um,
true.
yeah, and it's also never hurts to put a little plug in there about why not to go buy on Amazon. Because we know that everybody that hears about anything will go and buy on Amazon. So if you haven't
Oh,
already thought of putting that in there, something about like,
yeah,
I get it. Like I do the same thing. I go to something, I learn about it, and what do I do instantly? I go look at the price on Amazon, see how easy it's going to be for me to get it from them. But what you don't get is X. You don't get Lori, right? You don't get all
yeah.
this awesomeness.
Do you have a sign in your booth to that effect? Anything about Amazon? I've never made.
I don't, but I probably should. It's a really great idea. Like something like don't buy from Amazon. You
Yes.
like, because you won't get the same customer service, you won't get the same education, I do try to say something about it, but you're right. It would be cool to have a sign. I don't know. It's hard, right? Sometimes I'm like, okay, what's the percentage of people that really, but I think it's pretty high. Nowadays, the habit is just you see something you want, you experience it, you automatically go and check at what the price is going to be and how long it's going to take to get to your house. Right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep.
it's like,
Girls, I have to go back to
bye,
birds.
Jen. Yeah,
Oh, you
take
guys, this
care.
was so helpful. Thank you.
Hopefully, yes, we got a
Yeah,
little brainstorm in. Good luck.
yeah,
Okay,
thanks.
let
Bye,
us know how it
guys.
goes.
I
Bye.
will. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
I love
So,
it. So awesome.
so Roxanne, she shared some kind of an image that I don't know how to see.
Oh, okay. It's in the chat. Is it showing for you?
Let me see if I can find the chat. I
Okay,
just
so
scroll
since
over
you're
to
on a
find the chat.
phone, that could be why. Let me see if I can send it to you. Hold on. I'm gonna
Wait,
copy
I think okay,
it.
hold on. I just found chat.
Oh, good. Okay.
Uh,
So basically, they're
but
little
no, I didn't.
flyers. Didn't show
I
up.
don't have
Okay,
it
I feel like I have your
because I
cell.
wasn't looking at the chat before. It's just now showing me the chat.
You're fine, but you can't see it. You can't see her images.
Mm-mm.
I don't see
Okay.
any images in
What's
chat either.
you don't see any either, Carla? Okay.
No.
I wonder if I've got a setting wrong because you guys aren't able to see it. That is kind of weird. Did I do something? Okay, messages addressed to meeting group chat will also appear in the meeting group chat and team chat. And I
Somebody
mean,
else share it, not you, because they may have sent it to
Yes.
just,
Yes.
it's
Okay. So
just
maybe
how
that's what it
theirs
is.
setup is.
So let me go into the chat and see if I can change something there. Maybe I
I
can.
can see that there's two gray rectangles.
Okay. So they didn't like load, huh? I wonder if I copy and paste them, if that will work. Let's try that. Can you see it
I mean, I
now?
see two chats that just has text in it. Yep,
Anything now? I just
yep.
copied.
Yeah, yeah.
Did that work?
A save image. Yep, that worked.
Okay, so
Unable.
basically,
Now
if
it
it's
says unable
me,
to save. Shoot.
oh yeah, here, I can text them to you, Lori. Remind me, give me your number real quick and I'll make a,
Just give it to you. Say it. Tell it to you. You mean?
yeah, because we can trust Carla. She's not going to call you or
Oh
anything.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Okay,
What's
it's
your cell? Go ahead.
614
614
582
582.
7680.
Oh no, now it's out on the dark web. Just kidding. Okay. You gotta love our new world, right? New world
Yeah.
that we're in. Okay, I'll figure out
Yeah, I'm
how
able to save it
to
actually. So.
copy this over. And now that I created you as a contact, as long as everything is updating fast in my system. Yep. Okay, there you are. Okay, so these files though, one of the things we were kind of critiquing about them is that maybe they're a little too wordy as kind of my thought, and I would change the wording to be more about maybe exactly what are they going to get and be short and sweet about it. Maybe you could even actually you could put these in ChatGPT and say, help me make these
Yeah.
more interesting and less words, or I don't know, like that's a thought. I haven't done that yet, but I
So
just
were
need to.
these signs she had at the booth?
She had them as little flyers,
Okay.
sitting there, and I'm like, one of the things we talked about, Carla, was the idea that, really highlighting the value in a bit more of a bigger, maybe even a sign on the table, something like that, so that people get what, this is actually valuable, not just like, oh, it's free.
I have a question about when you do your booth. So when I have scam people, it's usually that it's not local, so I'm able to send them the link, and then,
Uh-huh.
but if someone's here, like say if I'm doing a class, it's like I tend to just want to use my phone and scan them, but then they don't have all the stuff on their phone. So when you do booths, how are you doing that? Are you sending
So
them
I'd
links?
still use our device. So for example, the way we set up our booths, typically it's got an iPad on a stand and a chair. But you do not have to do that. I mean, she just uses her phone. She does have a light ring on her table so that it looks kind of like people get a sense that there's something special going on here, right? Um, but what I will say is the way I do it is I scan them, and while I'm going to start changing this because this is typically when I'm reviewing the scan with them, but I want to change that and like hold it and say, okay, we're going to look at this when we get on the phone later. But when I usually do go over a little bit and then I send it to them right at that point, right? That little arrow at the top, right? And it
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
that's what
send
I've
it,
done like when I do classes.
it says, to do it as a PDF or to do it with the invitation to the Visera link. And I always choose the with the invitation to Visera link as the option. I send and I say, look, when you get this email, if you just look at the PDF that's attached, it's going to be very boring. There's not any of this fun functionality that you're going to see me play with this. So I'm actually showing them. So this won't work if you're trying to like add a booth, hold them and not give them
Yeah, and
any
I'm thinking
info.
more like at a class, so it wouldn't be
Okay.
as
Yeah.
hectic as a booth.
Yeah. So if I was doing this at a class, let's think about that. But yeah, I'll just tell you what I say to them. When I hit the little arrow and I send it, I say, what it's going to have in the email, it's going to have an invitation to this app. And this app is free and it's so fun. I'm going to show you how to play with it right now. And literally all you need to do is follow the instructions, make a password, download the app, and you'll be able to see your scan that we just did. It will be right there in your scan history. So that I do actually tell them that. And
Okay,
I don't
so
know
it's
how
good
many
to know
people
that
have
you could
actually,
use your phone and then
yeah.
they can still get all the results if they do.
Yes, yes. And I have to say the older the clientele, sometimes the less, but And I probably am forgetting to remind them, like, open that email from your phone, not your computer. Like, if you open that from your computer, it's gonna, I
Oh,
used to try to say that more, but now I've probably forgotten. But I do try to remind them. So in a class setting, I would definitely say, open this from your phone so that you can easily download the app. This is an app-based situation. This is not computer.
and is this during your appointment with them?
So when I usually am saying all that, I am literally at the booth and there I am
Oh, okay.
like because I'm hoping that we're gonna, but once again, what I noticed the way I was doing it is I couldn't, they would really hesitate as soon as I wanted to schedule, right? Anything and get them to commit. They would just
Yeah.
like freeze up, right? It was like deer in headlights. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like I'm not even asking you to spend money. I'm just saying like let's meet up and let's. So I am super curious, if people don't get the results and they want them, will they do less of that deer in headlights? Will they just be more eager about like, let's get that scheduled and let's review it as soon as possible? The shows that I've done, a lot of them have been the people are traveling. Like, oh, they came in town for a marathon, right? Or they came in town for the senior games. And
Oh,
so their brain is like, I need to review this once I'm home, right? It's not like a right away thing.
right.
Um, but I don't know. I like I said, a lot of this is such trial and error. Like you just trying it and like, okay, did that work? And no, it didn't. And so hopefully I'm helping you, Lori, because maybe your stuff will be even better. The great thing about not reviewing the scans there is that you can be tons faster. So if you really have
Yeah.
a lot of, if it's just you by yourself and you have people lined up or something, now it's like, as soon as that scan's done and if you had a QR code for the Calendly link right there, and they can just, get on your calendar, right? And you can pop them through fast. And maybe you even have like a sample of recharge or something that you give them also once they complete. So you have something they get that day because they don't get to see the scan, right?
Yeah.
Like, but they get it scheduled, and then maybe there is something affordable that you're handing them. I know we often have recharge in a drink dispenser, and we're having people drink that because a lot of our events that we're doing are athletic type events. Um,
Oh,
but it is also a really, it's super yummy, and I do think that for a lot of people, they don't get exposure to that product ever. Like they don't realize doTERRA has electrolytes. They know we have oils, but they're like, "What? You guys have electrolytes?"
yeah. Yeah.
So, so I like that exposure, and people do stop to have a sample. So you're also increasing the odds of them seeing whatever else is on the table, right?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. These appointments, are you making them on Zoom?
So, yes, we do a Calendly, and then when we have that scheduled, then we're messaging them with a Zoom link. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I've never used Calendly.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't either. We've wanted to for years because everybody and their dog seems to use it, and we were always like, yeah, we'll do it. Carla, are
Yeah.
you a Calendly? Have you been using Calendly forever?
I've never heard of that.
Okay, it's just
What?
a scheduling. It's like it basically, and I love it because James went in and kind of like figured out the pieces for me because It you want it to try to sync with your current whatever you're using for your calendar, if you're using Google Calendar or whatever you're doing, so that you can it already sees some of your availability. But like for us, we did go in and like verify that everything was looking good and we had gaps that we wanted to have those appointments available. So
Yeah.
it's free. I don't, well, is it free? I
How
can't
do you spell
remember.
it?
Like calendar. So think the word calendar, but with a
Calendly.
ly at the end.
Oh,
Calendly. So
Calendly. Okay.
yes,
DL.
Calendly, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll check it out for sure.
And so yes, it's very slick as far as like not having to like have them write it down and then forget they have it because they have to enter their email and then it reminds them, and their cell number and stuff. Um,
That's the way that people can schedule an appointment with you on their own.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So like, I mean, technically it works great for a lot of things, not just booths, but really good for a booth. If your goal is I'm going to scan them here, I'm not going to review it with them because that's the carrot that I'm going to hold out until that makes them not ghost me, right? And so far, Osti, one of my leaders, says that works really well for her, is that they don't see the results until an hour before they meet up, and then she explains it. to them. Um, and she's able to enroll quite a few people. Like she said, 75% of the people that she met with, she was able to enroll.
And does she charge for the scans?
So she says there is a charge, right? So at the booth, she's like, there's no, this is worth, and she actually says it's worth 75, I think, or 79. The value of this scan is $79, but because of this special event today, you get the scan for free, and then we'll review, however I don't know what she's saying as far as her wording, but I do like the idea of the word unveil your scan results, unveil your report when we
Okay.
meet, you know. Um, so yeah, that is how she's definitely touting that there is a cost normally. And I don't know if she's ever actually charging people when she's not at a booth. I don't know. But yeah, does
Okay.
that help?
Yeah.
Do you
I
want to?
wonder if people would get the scan if it's free and then say, nah, I'm not gonna, I don't care.
Sure, it is possible. It is possible, highly possible. I think that if you give them if you show them stuff right there, you're going to lose that. That what we watched is that it was very hard to get people to commit once they saw some information, right? Once they like were like, "Oh, cool,
Yeah.
thanks," then there was no reason for them to really schedule as much, right? Now, I will say I like working in crowds of people where people are in a lot of pain or they're sick, like health fairs, that more of the audience is already like we've only done one health fair now so far, but I felt like afterwards I was like, dang, healthy people tend to feel like they're already healthy. And so they're like, I don't need a 90-day reset. Like I'm eating great, I'm da la la. And so that was one thing we noticed. But I don't know. That was off of one show, so I can't totally, say that that's completely accurate.
That makes sense.
I've never really done a fair that there were sick people there.
Well, like what I mean by that wording is if someone's coming to a health expo, the odds are they're down that rabbit hole like the rest of us already, right? And so they're like looking for additional tweaks and tricks and whatever. And it's not like, oh, I'm drinking soda every minute of my life and I'm completely in tons of pain because I already was looking for health. Do you know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like the events that
It's
we're
the average health
Yes,
fair, which has the
exactly.
average
Like that.
person who is
Yes.
sick
And
and unwell.
our favorite one was the senior games, honestly, because they're in pain, right? They're older. Like you
Yeah.
have to be 50 to be in the senior games. And they're moving. So they're actually not like, in their lazy boy. So they have some, like they want to stay moving and they have a drive for that. So looking for activities where like these things about the booths that I keep thinking about is like super awesome if you have more time with people. So if you're doing a booth where people are just walking by checking everything out and they're gone, then it's harder. But if it's like a tournament of some kind, now they're like they came in to play, right? So they're there kind of because they have to be, not because they chose to pay $10 to come to get a ticket to this expo. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, oh, my
Yeah.
team's going to be at this tournament. So far, these have been my favorite events, is the ones where there's a pretty big time investment to get the person there, whether it's a marathon or a tournament. But once again, I can't wait to hear what you learn, Lori, from your different events, because this year is the first year you've been doing events like this, but this is the first year
Right.
you'll be using the
A
scan
lot.
if you're going to decide
Yeah,
to do it.
actually. An event called in May every year in our community is called the Green on the Green, and you have to be a green event. You have to be a green company to be able to have a booth at this event. So that was when I was a brand new wellness
Do we
advocate.
qualify?
Yeah, but
We do?
yes,
Okay, I'm like, are we green? I don't know. I mean, we
yeah,
try to be.
our everything's plant based.
Oh, got it. Okay, so if it was so like in other words, at that event, you can't really be marketing like the collagen because it's
Oh no, I don't think they don't go around and check on that. But
okay.
at that point, we only just had oils anyway, so
Got
that
it, got it, got it. Okay.
or when it was just oils. And so that's how we started. I have also done a lot of booths for massage therapist conventions,
Nice.
and they're looking for solutions oriented things too.
I love it. And I mean, obviously, my experience with using Visera versus just doing, because we did have a few days where the scan was going wonky during the senior games and we couldn't really scan. And of course, it was like as soon as we got Deep Blue on people, it was like it was over, right? They're like, okay, what is that, right? I feel better. So if for some reason you have tech glitches with if you can give people an experience like in the old days, it doesn't matter. Like because I will say that is the one thing is sometimes, right, you have a Wi-Fi issue, a lighting issue. Like, I mean, that's the only bummer about using this tech is that sometimes stuff gets in the way and then you can't do it.
You got to have a backup.
I would just recommend you have your Shinrin or one of and it's nice to have like a something you say as people are walking by if you're doing a show where you're gonna have where you're maybe not gonna have a lot of foot traffic or um and because the recharge is nice. It's nice to say, would you like some recharge, right? I definitely say, we're doing free health scans or whatever, right? But I would say there's a couple other lines you could use if you wanted to. One that we got taught from one of our team leaders that's like, oh my gosh, their team enrolled 700 people last month.
Wow.
Tatiana, yeah, Tatiana Timofeva, she just sent us her stats
Oh,
from last month and
yeah.
I about died. I mean, she enrolled herself 78 people. I was just like, you have a freaking newborn. Oh my gosh, you're superhuman. So yeah, her husband, they have this little thing they say when people are walking by, they say they have the Shinrin out in their hand and they usually say, just by using this, you can reduce your cortisol by 40%. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Just something quick like that. And then letting people smell it, right? So it's on your hands and you're kind of saying, can I let you smell this? You could do something similar with adaptive. I definitely, when she told me that stat, I was like, okay, wait, where's the study? And she's like, Dr. Riggs, or yeah, he says that. And she's like, I don't have the study, but just say it. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, she heard it from Dr. Riggs. At least that
Yeah.
that makes me feel better knowing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured she
Yeah.
got
And
it
in
from
the
somewhere.
end, like I didn't really have anyone challenge me. I think I get challenged more when there's a class setting than a booth, right? A booth, rarely will you have someone be like, well, show me that, blah, 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 right? And eat you up alive,
Yeah.
because they're in more of a customer vibe, I guess.
So
But yeah, so that one is something they taught us,
does
40% reduction.
Tatiana have the study there in case somebody does? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, but I
Well,
don't, I don't have it because, like I
oh,
said, she told me that stat, and I was like, "Did he show you a study?" She's like, "No, but he said it, and we just use it, and it works great."
okay.
And I
All
was
So
right.
it's
like,
from
"Cool."
smelling the oil,
Um, yeah,
smelling.
well, of course, inhaling's great, but then also topical application, right? We know the in you, on you, around you kind of vibe, right? And you could say the same thing for adaptive. So,
Voice
like,
just
if
went
you're
out.
like, what was that?
Oh, you're back. For a minute,
Oh,
it
did
was
I
like you were
did I
muted,
drop?
but
The same thing could be said for like, say you're like, oh, I have more adaptive than I have Shinrin on hand, so I want to sell adaptive. Do I and at a females show, I might I like both of them so much, but if there's going to be a lot of women, I might do adaptive. And I would make sure you have some adaptive capsules there and
Or do
maybe
both,
something
whatever
about
they like the best. All right.
yeah,
I,
true that. I mean, the
those I get them free
said my
points, and then we sell them in booths. Shinrin Yoku and adaptive. Get them
nice,
with your points and sell them.
nice.
Does she retail? Does she enroll them with us?
Ooh, good. Okay, so you just brought up retail. Okay, so she sells at her booth at wholesale. Okay. Now, James and I, we go back and forth on this discussion all the time. When we first
We
started, my very
do.
first event, I did wholesale, and then I decided, you know what? Why in the heck is anyone gonna want to enroll if I'm
Right.
selling at wholesale? So I have changed all my posted pricing on any of my signs, anything I is retail. And then I
Okay.
have a little QR code there that says, so like for example, if I'm doing, and I've actually done this and I don't know that it's worked massive for me at anything except for the senior games, but at the senior games I had a recovery pack. I made this up, right? I just made because I knew they were athletes and I'm like, they're gonna hurt, right? After they do what they're gonna do and they want to recover, right? And so the recovery pack had deep blue polyphenols capsules and the deep blue stick in it.
Okay.
And I would just kind of focus my energy on that because now at the time when I did it, I forgot to pay attention to the fact that that's not 100 PD. So I was like, dang it. After I did it, I was like, shoot, okay. So if you're doing an athletic event, I would say add something else to that so that you get it to 100 PV and have that be like a recovery pack, right? That now you're like, and you have the retail price right there. And then I had a QR code that was like save 25%. And
Yeah.
it's my link gen for that setup, right, of what I'm promoting.
Yeah.
And it has an arrow pointing to the item that kit that I'm selling. Now, people automatically go to scan that because they think they're going to save 25% on anything I'm selling there. And
Oh,
so I will say that was one thing I noticed, and I was like, okay, how would I do that differently? But I mean, it still showed me that people are all about scanning QR codes. They want to do that, you know. So you
yeah.
could really, yeah, that's one thought. So you could make a kit that's specific to that women's event that is like, I had a thought, what was it? It was,
And say with the signs would be the retail, and then with this QR code, you get
oh,
25.
I know. It could be the less bitch kit or something like that. Like, I'm not kidding. Something funny. Okay. It could be because like that's the stuff that people when they walk by, they're not expecting to see it. Not that you want to put the word bitch on your thing, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like to me, when I take adaptive capsules, I am less of that, but if I
Yeah.
don't, I am definitely more irritable. I can't quite hold my tongue as well. I don't know what your experience has been, you guys, with different, I mean, obviously using the oils too, but like
Capsules.
there's definitely certain, are you like that with the adaptive or what's works?
I just became a huge fan of adaptive capsules after my during COVID when my the time she was in third grade was being homeschooled, and just the whole situation made me feel very overwhelmed. And I remember when I started taking those capsules, it just totally eased that overwhelm. So to me, that word with those capsules is like
Same.
what
Same.
exactly I experienced. Yeah.
And that's when I started using them too, was during COVID. I think at the end of 2020, I started using those because I was
Right?
just feeling gloomy and overwhelmed. Yeah.
Well, and I think people are still feeling that way. And, and it's a non-addictive version of, right?
Yeah.
But I think it could be fun to come up with like a little fun name. You could even, and
Well,
you may want to talk to,
during Halloween, they use the term ditch the witch for like blends like
So
that. So yes,
you
a little
could
better than
totally
bitch, I
have,
guess.
you could totally have ditch the, and then have witch with the W spelled and bitch be kind of like crossed out, right? Witch,
Oh,
like
there you
that way
go.
it's like for someone who's going to be like, oh, that's really crass. Then you're like, it just says witch, like no big deal. I mean,
I
it would
got
be
I'm
interesting.
gonna
Yeah.
have to run here, you guys. This has
Okay.
been so great.
Good
This is
luck. I can't wait to hear how it goes.
yes, yes. And I know you said you texted me. Let me see if I got that.
Yeah, did those come through? I sent, let me make sure it went. I
I
can see it on my side unless I screwed up your telephone number.
Yeah. Is your phone number 808
Yep,
382?
yep, yep.
Now
That's
I've
me.
created
Okay.
then if I've got any more questions or whatever, we're in touch.
Awesome. Good luck with everything, guys. You're the
Thank
best.
you. Thank
Okay,
you.
see
Sorry.
ya.
Okay, take care.
Sam, can I ask you a question?
Oh, of course. Please.
So,
I'm gonna stop